Napoleon didn't just lose an army in Russia. He lost a fortune. In 1812, as the French Empire collapsed in the frozen heart of Russia, something far more valuable than soldiers vanished beneath the snow. Gold, silver, royal treasures stolen from across Europe. As Napoleon's army retreated through burning cities and endless white wastelands, wagons filled with unimaginable wealth disappeared one by one. Some sank beneath frozen rivers. Some were secretly buried in the earth, and some were never seen again. For more than 200 years, treasure hunters, historians, and even governments have searched for what became known as Napoleon's lost gold. Did it sink beneath the ice? Was it hidden by desperate soldiers trying to survive? Or is it still waiting, somewhere in the wild, frozen depths of Russia? In this video, we uncover the chilling truth behind one of history's greatest unsolved treasure mysteries. And what you are about to hear changes everything. In the summer of 1812, Napoleon assembled the greatest military force humanity had ever seen. Nearly 600,000 soldiers, gathered from every corner of Europe, marched forward under the dream of imperial victory. But this army did not carry only weapons. Behind it moved a fortune powerful enough to reshape continents and raise fallen empires from the ashes. This was no ordinary loot. It was gold ripped from Europe's royal palaces, sacred chalices, religious icons, throne ornaments encrusted with precious stones, jewelry collections that had survived centuries. The wealth of generations was packed into a single convoy, and every chest carried a stolen piece of history. To Napoleon, this treasure was the future of his empire. Even if the war was lost, this gold was enough to build a new army, to forge a new Europe. That is why he valued these chests more than his own life. The treasure convoy was kept separate from the rest of the army. Each chest was sealed with thick iron. Every wagon was carefully numbered, and only a handful of generals and Napoleon's most trusted officers knew what they truly carried. If the wrong men discovered the truth, chaos would erupt inside the army. But Russia did not surrender as Napoleon had expected. They appeared to retreat. But in reality, they were pulling the French army slowly into death itself. As the Russian forces withdrew, they left behind not just empty cities, but scorched earth. Fields were burned. Granaries were emptied. Bridges were destroyed. Roads were cut off. Napoleon's army was abandoned to hunger and to the cold. When Napoleon finally reached Moscow, what he believed was a victory turned out to be a grave. The city was burning. Smoke swallowed the sky, and winter was marching straight toward his army. That was the moment history revealed its cruelest face. When the retreat began, the French army was no longer a fighting force. It was a river of broken humanity, torn apart by hunger, disease, and fear. Starving soldiers collapsed on frozen roads. Horses fell and died beneath the weight of treasure wagons they could no longer pull. And every fallen horse sealed the fate of another chest of gold. The officers faced an impossible choice: save the treasure, or save the men. Some chests were broken open. Desperate soldiers grabbed a few coins and fled. But most were simply abandoned, too heavy to move any farther. Near Smolensk, it is said that certain officers buried the gold in the ground. The chests were lowered into pits dug in darkness. Marks were placed above them. But most of the men who made those marks froze to death within days. What happened at the Berezina River became one of the darkest moments in history. The river was frozen, but the ice could not be trusted. As soldiers tried to build bridges, Cossack forces attacked from behind. Every second, more lives were pushed toward death, and panic took over. Treasure wagons were shoved one by one into the icy water. Chests shattered. Gold vanished into the black depths of the river. But some historians believe this was only a deception. They claimed the real treasure had already been sent in another direction. It is said that Napoleon gave secret orders to a few of his most trusted officers. A large portion of the treasure may have been hidden somewhere deep inside Russia. But those men never returned. Some were killed by Cossacks. Some vanished in snowstorms. Others disappeared from history, taking their secrets with them. Even today, whispers still travel through Russian villages. People speak of strange markings in the forests, of metallic sounds rising from beneath the soil, of ghostly wagons moving across the snow at night. The truth is simple. When Napoleon fled Russia, he didn't just lose an army. He lost one of the greatest treasures the world has ever known. And that treasure may still be waiting beneath the snow and the darkness for someone to find it. History always tells us about great victories, but the real truths are hidden within the losses. Napoleon was an emperor who brought the world to its knees. But in the end, on the frozen Russian soil, he could save neither his army nor his gold. He believed that power, wealth, and grandeur could make a man immortal. But history shows that, no matter who you are, it leads everyone to the same darkness. Even today, that gold may still be lying somewhere. But what protects it is not the soil. It is the price of human greed. And perhaps the greatest lesson is this. Every empire falls. Every treasure is lost. But the mark of greed is never erased from history. And now, I leave you with a question. If these stories reveal the dark side of history to you, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and stay tuned for the next secret. Because here, we uncover the truths that history tries to hide.